You probably clicked on this video because it feels like your negative thinking is starting to get out of control to the point where it actually feels like your mind is working against you. That's not actually what's happening, and I'm going to explain how this is happening for you and how you can absolutely change it. The technique that I'm going to show you is not sexy or glamorous, but it works, and it's extremely simple, and it works instantly. I've battled with negative thoughts for most of my life to the point that it led me to depression twice. Once I started learning Neuro Linguistic Programming, NLP, I could then understand what was happening, and that negative thinking is actually a process, and it's also a relationship to your thoughts that can be changed immediately. It's been 16 years since I last fell into depression, and at this point I can't imagine ever going back into depression ever again after what I know and after what I'm going to show you. Not only have I stayed out of depression, I am living the life I've always dreamed about. I am living the fulfilling, rewarding life I always wanted to live. No longer am I held back by negative thinking. That doesn't mean I don't have negative thoughts. Everyone does. I'm human just like you. And you are going to have negative thoughts from time to time, but they don't have to bother you. They don't have to hold you back. The first thing you need to understand is that your mind is not working against you. I know it feels that way. I know that when you have negative thoughts, it can feel like you're under attack. It can feel like your negative thoughts invalidate who you are, bring your self-worth down, and cause you to doubt yourself. You have all these things that you want to do in life. You have the dream life that you want to create for yourself, and those negative thoughts sort of are coming in like torpedoes, causing you to doubt yourself and your ability to create that life. They also make you feel bad about yourself. So when you want to do something and you fail at it or it doesn't work out, those negative thoughts come in and make you feel even worse about that. So oftentimes we don't even want to try because we know that if we try and we don't get what we want or it doesn't work out, we're going to be flooded with negative thinking. That's just going to cause us to feel even worse about ourselves than if we had never tried at all. What I'm going to tell you is counterintuitive, and that is you can drop your guard. You don't need to defend yourself against negative thoughts, because the truth is your thoughts don't tell you very good information about who you are. They don't give you very good meanings about what's actually happening around you. They're just thoughts. They're abstractions. They're ideas, concepts that are floating through your mind, and what ends up happening is that some grab your attention more than others, and then we look at these thoughts and we think this must mean something about who I am, or this must mean something about my life. And the truth is that these thoughts only mean whatever meaning you give to them. The more you fight with your negative thoughts, the more you give them meaning and then step back and then get angry at them, or you try to justify who you are to your thoughts, the more this just traps you. And this is what most people are doing. They're doing this back and forth with their thoughts, almost like they're having a conversation with a critic that does not exist. It's all in our heads, but this can start to feel very real. And the more we pile these negative concepts and abstractions on top of each other and we try to defend ourselves against them, we're just adding more validity to these thoughts when they really have no substance whatsoever. Start off by changing our relationship to our thoughts. And what we need to know about that first and foremost is that your thoughts have no inherent meaning. Your thoughts only have the meaning that you give them. When you understand this is very empowering, because now you're taking your power back. You're not giving power to the thought any longer. You're realizing that you held the power all along. And so if I see a thought and it makes me upset, or I call it negative, or even call it positive, I'm giving that meaning to that thought, meaning I'm empowering the thought as if it says something about me, but that's not actually true. The meaning, the empowerment, is coming from you. So you can take that back and realize all of your thoughts have no inherent meaning, and you get to be the one who decides what they mean to you. I'm sure if you wrote down every single negative thought you have every single day, you would have pages and pages of them. I want to use an example of one that was very common for myself, and I know a lot of people suffer from. And that is it too late? It's a thought, and the way the words come out is usually more in the form of that question, is it too late? But what that implies is the thought is, it's too late. This can be dropped into any area of your life. You could think about your career. If you wanted to revamp your career and do something that you find more enjoyable and more lucrative, at a certain age, you might ask yourself, is it too late for me? Which, again, underlying that is a negative thought that it is in fact too late. You can't change your career. You're done. You're stuck with what you have. Now, this can also be dropped into other areas of your life, like maybe a relationship or a marriage, where you're not getting what you want out of the marriage or the relationship. And you kind of feel like, well, maybe it's too late for me. Maybe I can't find someone to share my life with. It's just too late. I might as well just settle with where I'm at right now. It's too late could also have to do with your health. You might feel like, I would like to get healthy, but I'm at an age now and I haven't been exercising or eating right for quite some time, and maybe it's just too late for me. So this negative thought, it's too late, permeates many people's lives in multiple areas of their lives. So I think this is a good one to use as an example. So I'm going to give you this process, and I'm going to use the negative thought, it's too late, to run through this process. There is a PDF. You'll find a link in the description below this video, or you can scan this QR code to have access to the entire process. Listen to me go over the process first here in this video, then download the PDF, and then work your way through the process using any of your negative thoughts, and return to this video for the overview if you need any help getting through it. If you still have questions or you're not sure about the process as you're bringing your negative thought through that process, make sure you leave a comment below this video. I will respond to you. As I mentioned before, the first part of this is to change your relationship to your thoughts, specifically your negative thoughts. So step one is to ask yourself, is this thought useful? Now this fundamentally changes your relationship to the thought because we're asking a completely different question. And in order to answer that question, it has to change your relationship to the thought. Let's say you have this negative thought that it's too late for me. Remember, that can be in any area of your life. Let's say it's about career, that you just think you're kind of done. You would like to change careers, but you feel like at this point in your life, it's too late. It would take too much effort, too much time, and it feels like it's too late. And if you ask yourself, instead of buying into this idea that that's a negative thought and that somehow limits you, if you instead ask yourself, is there anything useful about this thought? Notice how that changes how you feel about it. No longer is it scary. No longer is it about a negative versus a positive thought or something that is attacking you. And now it becomes, is there anything useful about this? Can I pull anything out of this that I can actually use to propel me, leverage me into who I want to be or something I want to create in my life? Now I can step back from it. I'm not afraid of it anymore, and I can really look at it for what it is. And yes, I see something useful here, that this is about urgency, that if I don't start now working on my new career that I want, it's never going to happen. So even though this thought comes up as something that feels very negative and very limiting and like it's attacking me, I realize, no, it's not attacking me. There is something useful here, that it's time to get working on this. Sometimes that's enough, and that alone, just asking that question, dismantles the negative thought, and it's done. It just falls away just by asking that question, because you ask the question and you will either find something useful in it, or you ask that question and you realize there's nothing useful about this thought whatsoever, which takes the sting out of it. It takes the meaning out of it. It just falls away. And this brings us to step two. If you have a disease and you can separate from within the disease the part that actually creates the problems, the disease itself, from the part of the disease that doesn't create problems. So we could be talking about a virus or bacteria. And we look at this and we say, okay, this virus or bacteria makes people sick. And we can go into that and start to understand the nature of it and pull it apart. We can separate the part that causes disease from the part that doesn't. And then if we take the part that doesn't and we put that into the human body, the immune system will respond. It'll look like an invader to the immune system, but there's no actual disease in it. We've already separated that part out. So the immune system looks at it and says, we need to protect ourselves against whatever this is, and creates antibodies for it and strengthens your immune system. So what I just described is how a vaccine works. You're able to take something useful from the disease to create an immunity against the disease. So when you actually encounter it, you don't have a problem. You can get through it without symptoms or without major symptoms. So we do the same thing with a negative thought. We extract the part that might be useful. And like I said before, if you find that there is nothing useful about the thought, it usually just falls away right there. But if there is something useful to it, then step two is to take whatever is useful about it and then actually implement it. Use it in whatever way that you can, and then let the rest of it go. At any point through this process, if you've already neutralized the negative thought, you can just move on to the next one. So like I said, on step one, just by asking that question, is it useful? That might be enough to do away with the negative thought so you can move on. Step 2 is if you find something useful, then you implement what is useful and just let the rest go. And sometimes that's enough. But if it's not and the thought persists, that's what brings us to step number 3. So what's really happening when a negative thought persists and it doesn't seem to want to go away, even after you ask the question if it's useful, even after you found something useful or didn't find something useful and you wanted to move on, but it keeps coming at you. This often appears as a ruminating thought that seems to be very circular and keeps going around and around. You keep thinking about it over and over and it just ties up your mind and makes you worry and it's hard to focus on anything else. Think about it this way. It's your unconscious trying to deliver a message to you, and so far you haven't received it. So the first 2 steps weren't quite it. The unconscious is trying to tell you something, you haven't quite gotten the message or you haven't learned the lesson yet. So it's persisting, it's trying to tell you more. What it has for you is a positive intention. Even though it might be appearing as a negative thought, deep down there is a positive intention behind it. All parts of you are valid. And all parts of you have a positive intention, meaning everything that you're trying to do, every decision you make, every thought that you have, every belief that you have, at its core has a positive intention, meaning something for you to do to fulfill something that you want. Going back to the negative thought that I've been using as an example, that it's too late, you might be thinking, what could possibly be the positive intention of it's too late? You want to open a dialogue with your unconscious. You want to go in there and ask yourself, what is the positive intention of this thought? You can ask that directly to your unconscious or directly to the thought, whatever part of you that is bringing that thought up. Just ask it, what is the positive intention behind this message? What is the positive intention behind this negative thought? So if we ask that question to it's too late, the first thing that might come out, and it's normal when you ask these questions to your unconscious for the answers to come out stated in the negative, as in what it doesn't want for you, what it doesn't want you to do. And so if you ask it, what is the positive intention behind telling me that it's too late? It might say, well, you're not doing the things that you want to do. You are not creating in your life what you want to create. So we're getting closer to the positive intention, but it still is coming out in negation and negatives. So we can ask that question to our unconscious, like, well, what do you want me to do instead? And for this one, it's pretty obvious. Like if you're not doing the things that make you happy, if you're not doing the things that you really want to do in life, well, the opposite of that is to go and do those things. And then if we go in deeper and we keep asking, well, what is the positive intention of that? Or what are you trying to tell me? And what you'll probably get down to is a really positive intention, what we call a value, which would be happiness. Maybe what this message, this negative thought is trying to tell you is that you're not happy, or that you're not as happy as you could be. And that is what your unconscious is trying to communicate to you so that you can recognize the message and then take action on that message and start making yourself happier, start doing more of what makes you happy and creating the life that's going to make you happy. I can use my own example as well when I had depression twice. What was that about for me? Well, depression itself was not a positive intention. Depression was a strategy for dealing with my negative thoughts. And the strategy was that if I can accept all of my negative thoughts, if I can accept all of the negativity in the world and in myself, then I could start working my way toward happiness. Because now I've accepted the worst, then now I can get to the better stuff. But that's not what happened. Your mind will do what you ask it to do. So in my thinking, it was, I'm going to accept all of these negative thoughts and all of these negative things about the world, which means I had to think about these things. I had to make sure that I wasn't missing any negative thoughts or missing any negativity in the world. And here's the thing, your mind will continue to generate what you're looking for. So as I went looking for the negativity, my mind kept generating it. So there was no end to it. It just piled on and piled on and piled on, until eventually, in my own mind, I was surrounded by negativity. Even though that might not have looked like what was going on in the world around me in actuality, and I can assure you it wasn't, because things weren't really bad in my life, but internally, they were horrible. They were cataclysmic. Everything was just sort of collapsing on itself. Because in my thinking, in my mind, in my internal representations and all my thoughts, they were all negative, and they were organizing and escalating over and over and over until I felt so overwhelmed that I just gave up and I had no more energy left. to deal with all of that. I was completely overwhelmed. And if I look deeper into that and I think, okay, what was going on with me at that time? What was the deeper positive intention? The deeper positive intention was through acceptance of all of the bad in myself and the world, that I could finally find my way back to happiness. So the positive intention was to be happy. And doesn't that sound crazy? That my depression, the whole point of it was to be happy. It was just a bad strategy. Once you have the positive intention behind the negative thought or negative thinking, we move to step 4. How do you take that positive intention, that value, and fulfill on it? How do you bring it into your life right now? Recognizing, in my case with depression, that I just wanted to be happy. In order to be happy, I didn't have to give my attention to all the negatives in the world. In fact, that was inevitably going to work against me. It was time to start shifting my attention to the good things in the world, the things that I like. And that doesn't mean ignore the bad things. I can acknowledge all the negativity and at the same time give 80-90% of my attention to the good stuff, to doing things that actually made me happy. So it's a shift of attention. Once you know what the positive intention is, and it may be happiness and it could be other positive intentions and other values. I'm just using happiness as an example of myself. Once you know that, then you start shifting your attention to that positivity. And again, acknowledging the negative, acknowledging the bad stuff, but just not giving all of your attention to it, not just giving a little bit of your attention to it, because we need to a certain extent, to make sure we can avoid negative things and avoid bad things. And it's good to have clarity about what you don't want so that you can steer clear of it. But give the majority of your attention to what is positive. What are those positive intentions? What are those values that you're actually wanting to fulfill? And step 5 is knowing all that you know now, which is so much richer than what you knew before when you were thinking you were at odds with and having to battle against a negative thought as if it was an adversary. Now you've come a long way and you understand so much more. Now you can set an outcome or a goal that aligns to that value that you want to fulfill, that positive intention behind the negative belief. So you just ask yourself, what can I do right now? Do being the key word, taking an action. What can I do right now that moves me closer to fulfilling this value, or actually can fulfill it? You'd be amazed. Sometimes we set these lofty goals, these lofty outcomes, and we think that, well, until we thread that needle or cross that threshold, I can't allow myself to be happy, or I can't allow myself to experience that value. And that is just a terrible way to go about this. It's a bad strategy. A good strategy is allowing yourself to feel that right away by taking action. Any action that aligns with that positive intention or value, you feel it right away. It feels like motivation. It feels like fulfillment. Allow yourself to feel that as you move toward that outcome or goal that you set. When you start to get good at this, anytime you encounter a negative thought, you might feel very empowered. This feels really good, and it might tempt you to start looking for negative thoughts to go and transform. I want to caution you against that because, like I said, when you go looking for these things, you will start to create them. When I was trying to look for negative thoughts so that I could accept them, or negative things in the world so I could accept them, I started creating more of that in my mind, which led me to depression. So even though you have an incredible process and tool here to transform negative thoughts, don't go looking for them. Trust me, negative thoughts will arise. They will happen anytime you want to create something new in your life or do something different. Usually that attracts negative thoughts right away. And when they arise, that's when you want to deal with them. Don't go looking for them. Don't go on a ghost hunt. You don't need to be afraid of them. You don't need to back away from them. And you also don't want to fight them. When they arise, transform them. If you've made it this far, now you know that your negative thoughts are not your enemy. They're not even really negative thoughts. They're actually opportunities for you to leverage yourself into a better life, into creating the you want to be so that you create the life that you want to live. Now you know how to deal with negative thoughts on an individual basis, but what happens when negative thoughts start to cluster? Very much like when I fell into depression. This happens for a lot of people and they don't really understand what's going on because most of this is unconscious. When negative thoughts start to cluster like this, they create what we call generalizations, also known as negative beliefs or limiting beliefs. So if you want to know how to permanently destroy negative beliefs, check out this next video.